Hello fellow stackers, 365 here, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I wanted to show you somewhere else where you could potentially hide your silver or gold stack. Now I've done videos on this in the past, and the main thing to remember is to be creative. It's not always necessarily the best idea to put it in a safe, because once someone finds that safe they've got your entire stack in one go, and even if they can't get into the safe there and then, they might return with the right tools and they'll be very persistent until they get in there. So in today's example, I'm going to show you a great hiding place, which is underneath your stairs. You can see all I'm doing here is I'm pulling up the carpet, pulling up the underlay, using this slate mat just to hold it back out the way. Now this is something anybody can do. I'm not particularly skilled at DIY or woodwork or anything like that. Only literally requires a couple of basic tools, a hammer, a screwdriver and a drill. All I'm literally doing here is I'm working out how to get this board off. I noticed there's a few nails that are holding it down, so all I'm doing here is I'm using a screwdriver to literally just prise the nails down and get the piece of wood off. Now be sure to be very careful with this wood, because you're going to need this wood to go back. So you want to make note of where the screws are attached to holding it in, and just be careful not to damage it. So you want to put that to one side. Now there's actually more space than you think underneath your stairs. I'm just going to put my phone light on here, and you can see that there's actually a nice storage space under there. Very decent size. You could get many items under here. Absolutely wasted space. You can see it's fairly clean under here. You can whip a hoover around or whatever if you want to give it a bit of a dust or whatever, but there's no need, because you are just going to be putting stuff in here and then sealing it back up. So the next thing to do is to get yourself some sort of container. I've just got this old kind of war container that I got from my dad. You can see I've just crossed out what the original use was, written silver on there. This is just metal. You can use an airtight Tupperware, whatever you can find. Fill it up with all your precious metals. Pop it in your new hiding place, making sure that it's not on any wires or anything like that, if you've got any wires or anything underneath the stairs. And the next thing to do is to put the wood back. Now I've actually screwed a screw in there that I'm using to hold it with. And then I'm going to put a hammer underneath that screw just to kind of prop it up so that the wood doesn't fall down while I screw it back in place. Now what I've chosen to do here is I've chosen to use screws, because they're much easier to get out. If I was to use nails to hammer it back in, how it was secured in the first place, it'll be harder to get out. Whereas with screws, you can literally just unscrew them, and then it'll be a lot easier to remove this when I want to get to my precious metals. Now this is a hiding place that you want to put stuff in that you don't want to get hold of regularly, because you don't want to be opening and closing this. And like I said, these screws will be a lot easier to take out in the future, instead of having to try and prise the nails out again. Now you can take out that screw that you used just to hold it into place. Fold back down the underlay. You don't have to tack it back in if you don't want to, if you want to make it so it's easier to get to when you eventually go back in there to get it back out. Tuck it all back in nice and neat. And you can see very quick and easy hiding place for your precious metals. No one knows it's under there. Really good place to hide your precious metals. So let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. I've got another video on this channel of another place that I also used to hide precious metals. I'll link that in the description below if you're interested to have a look. But the main thing to remember is to get creative. Like I said, it's not always necessarily the best idea to have it in one particular place. Even if you've got the strongest safe in the world, once someone discovers you have a safe, it makes them even more determined to come back another day with more tools and try and get into it. And once they've got into it, then they've got your entire stack if it's all stored together. So I'm not saying don't have a safe, but I'm saying definitely split up your stack and dot it around your house, not just your own house, different people's houses, people you trust, your parents' house, your best friend's house. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments. As always, thanks very much for watching my videos, and I hope you have a nice day.